Hello everyone and welcome back to this channel. Hope you're all safe and healthy. So today I'm going back to the Al Saber Cars dealership to take a look at the all new Mercedes-AMG SL63, and in this video I'll be going through all the changes that Mercedes have done to make the new SL63, because it has been significantly overhauled when compared to the previous SL. So I'll be going through all the changes, and at the very end we'll be answering the question, is the new Mercedes-AMG SL63 the best performance cabriolet in its segment, or should you look elsewhere? So do stick till the end. And just before we go ahead and talk about the SL, I just wanted to give a big thanks to Al Saber for allowing me to come here and make the video with the SL63. And to show my appreciation, I want you guys to go ahead and follow them on their Instagram page, and you can take a look at their amazing collection. The link will be in the description below. And if you're watching this video from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, the link to their dealership location will be in the description as well. So if you're looking to buy the new SL or any other luxury car or non-luxury car, you can come here, visit them in their dealership, take a look at all the amazing collection that they have, and there might be something that catches your eye. So do give them a visit. The link will be in the description for the location. And if you're new to the channel, guys, do leave a like and do subscribe to the channel as well, and do turn on your bell notifications so that you'll be the first ones to know when I upload new videos. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the SL. Alright guys, so here it is, the 2022 or 2023 model of the Mercedes SL63 or the Mercedes-AMG SL63. And you can see we have this SL63 in a really nice shade of blue, which looks really nice under the showroom lights. It's a metallic finish and it looks quite good. The interior is a cream color interior, so the combination does look quite good. But if I had to spec an SL63 with this blue color, the interior color would be something similar to that 7 Series over there, so in a brown color or a tan color interior. So the cream and the blue, for me, it does not match. But now let's talk about the SL itself. So Mercedes have totally redesigned the SL for the 22 or 23 model year. It depends on what time you get the SL in your markets. Here it has come a bit early in 2022, so that's why it's badged as a 2022 model year, but you can also call it a 2023 since that's how car models work. But for 2022, Mercedes have completely redesigned it, and the new SL is not like a Mercedes-Benz model, it is a Mercedes-AMG model. So the basis of the SL is very similar to the upcoming AMG GT, so both of them share a similar platform, but obviously this is the convertible and that will be a fixed roof coupe. So let's talk about what Mercedes have done. So obviously, like I told you, by making the SL completely an AMG model, it has added a lot of benefits to it. Like it has made it a lot more sportier than the previous SL, and the engines and everything are a lot different than what you might have got if this was just a standard Mercedes model. So let's go through like the different models that you have. So this particular model in front of you is the SL63. This is the top of the line model. You have a SL55, and in some markets you have the SL43 as well, which has the small 2-liter 4-cylinder twin turbocharged engine. But according to some of the news that is going around, there is a plug-in hybrid coming as well. So like an SL53, I think most probably what AMG might do is add a electric motor to the 4-cylinder and make it a plug-in hybrid. And at the same time, there is another rumor going on that I don't think it's a rumor, it's definitely going to happen, because some of the test vehicles have been seen, and that's the SL63E performance. So obviously with the twin turbo V8 that the SL63 has, is going to be attached to the hybrid system similar to that of the S63 E performance, or something like the AMG GT E performance. So you will be definitely having that, but I don't think Mercedes should do that, because it completely defeats the purpose of what the SL stands for. So the SL actually means sport light, a sporty light, like a convertible or a coupe if you count the original SL in, because it was a coupe, the Gullwing coupe. So that is what the SL stands for, and adding the E performance hybrid and all that stuff, which will definitely add a lot of weight, kind of defeats the purpose of the name sport light. But people do want it. It's something that every manufacturer is doing, adding hybrids to all of their cars, obviously due to the emissions and all this stuff. That's the sad reality. But let's talk about the SL that we have in the front. The design is literally one of my favorite, and the new SL is currently my favorite convertible on the planet. Before it was the Lexus LC, which is kind of its competitor. You have the BMW 8 Series convertible, and obviously you have the main target, the Porsche 911 Cabriolet, specifically the Porsche 911 Carrera 4 GTS. That's the main competition. But for the SL63, I think the competition is the 911 Turbo Cabriolet. But like 911 is there in its sight. But I do like the design of the new SL63. You have these sharp headlights, you have the new Panamericana grille, you can see the aggressive bumpers at the bottom, which are AMG specific obviously, and none of the vents that you see are fake, everything is real. And down below, the vent you see over here is actually actively controlled, so when the engine needs a lot of air, they will open up, but when it doesn't, they will close up and smooth the airflow and improve the drag of the car. Then you have a front camera with your huge Mercedes star, and up top you have the Mercedes-Benz logo as well. And I'll just show you how the lights look when they are turned on, along with the indicators. And those are how the headlights look when they're turned on, and it looks pretty menacing. And seeing this in your rear view mirror will definitely cause some panic if this thing is coming down in speed. So I do like the presence this SL has. Then up top you can see we have the long hood, we have some power domes on each side, which makes it look really nice and muscular. You can also see how wide this particular SL is with the wide fenders on each side, and it just makes it look really nice and aggressive. The stance is quite nice. And as we move along the side, we also have the price. So this particular one is a brand new model. It's a 2022 model, and it costs 1.2 million riyals. I'll convert it into dollars and euros for you guys, but do keep in mind cars in Saudi Arabia are much more expensive than the European and US counterparts, because here the cars are imported. So because of that, you have the import tax, and then you have the VAT, which significantly increases the price. So do keep that in mind. And now let's move on to the side profile. I'm a bit limited in space over here, so I'll try to show it to you as best as I can. But as you see, we have a really nice silhouette for the new SL. And the big change for the new SL is that the old SL used to have the hardtop roofs, but for the new SL, AMG have decided to remove the hardtop and add in the soft top roof, which again you get in 3 colors: black, grey or red. And I think the black looks the best, and the soft top actually makes the roof line quite nice, and the overall body shape of the SL just gets improved by adding the soft top. The old hard top used to make the car look a bit awkward in my opinion, and I think the soft top is a good design change. And here are the rims for this particular SL63. They look quite good, and you do have a lot of other options as well if you don't like these particular ones. So these are 21-inch rims, by the way, and they're sitting on 275 section tires with the 35 series sidewall, so a pretty wide front tire. And behind the rim you can see we have yellow brake calipers and drilled disc brakes as well. By the way, one small amount of information: if you see an SL with yellow brake calipers, it signifies that that particular SL has the AMG Dynamic Plus pack, which adds an electronically limited slip differential, and obviously you get the yellow brake calipers. Then as we move along the side, you have this piece of plastic, which I don't know why they did it. It's just there as a design element. Then we have the V8 bi-turbo with the 4MATIC Plus badge. So this particular SL is all-wheel drive, so no more rear wheel drive. Then here we have the side view mirrors, you have the LED indicator, your blind spot camera. Then you have the S-Class style door handles, which are retractable. And then we come to the rear tire. So since the four-wheel drive of the SL is a bit rear biased, you have a wider rear tire, 305 section with a 30 series sidewall, and the rim size is same, is 21-inch. But at the back again, you can see we have the yellow brake calipers and the drilled disc brakes. Then let's move towards the back, and the rear design of the SL is really nice as well. The tail lights are pretty similar in design to what you get on the S-Class, the new C-Class. So that's the design language that Mercedes are going for, but I do really like them. And here's how the tail lights look when they're turned on, along with the indicators. Then some things on the boot, you can see we have the AMG logo, you have your Mercedes badge, you have your SL63 badge, and you also have the retractable spoiler. So the wing has 4 stages. It changes according to the speed you are going, or you can just manually control it via a button in the interior. Then down below you can see we have an aggressive diffuser, and we have the quad tailpipes. But these are just exaggerations. The real exhausts are way inside, and they're quite small as well, but that is something almost all of the manufacturers are doing now, so we can't say anything. And actually here you can see how good this paint looks. So that's all about the exterior. Now let's take a look at the boot space. So to open the boot, you can use the button in the interior. You can use the key fob, which I have right over here. So this is the new key fob that you get with the SL. You have the AMG logo at the back, and the key fob also feels really nice and premium. And on the key fob, you can see we have the button to open the boot right over here, or you have a button underneath as well, but we'll just use the key fob. You just hold this button, and as you saw, it's an electronically operated boot. And let's talk about space. So you do have a decent amount of space in the SL63. It's not a huge space. It's as much as you can expect from a sports car, but in total you have like 240 liters of space, which is 8.8 cubic feet. So I think it's enough for a couple of carry-on bags or a golf club set. I think most of the people will use it for that. But there are some features in this boot as well. So as you can see, this particular plastic part over here, it actually restricts a bit of the boot space when you like try to put some wider luggage, but you can actually fold that up. So if you press this button, that will fold away, then you can put in the wider luggage. But when you want to open the roof, you have to press this again, and you have to keep it in this particular position, because that particular section is where the roof stores as well when you open it, and that obviously reduces your luggage space a bit. So that's all about the boot space. Now let's take a look at the engine bay. Alright guys, so here's the engine bay, and since this is the SL63 and it's an AMG model, you have the famous 4-liter twin turbo V8, and you get the same engine in the SL55 as well, but you have less power in that. And in the SL63, the V8 produces 585 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque, which is like 800 Newton meters, and that's quite impressive numbers. But we all know when the e-performance comes out, they'll definitely have something like 700 or 800 horsepower. And the engine is attached to a 9-speed automatic, and since I showed you, it has 4MATIC Plus, so it's an all-wheel drive. And because of that, despite having the name Sportlight, this thing does weigh a lot. So the SL63 is around 1.9 tons, so the name Sportlight doesn't apply literally over here. And we all know how Mercedes likes to understate their performance. According to them, the SL63 can go from 0 to 100 in just 3.6 seconds, but people have already tested the SL63, and some of them have gone from 0 to 100 in just 3 seconds. So that just shows how much Mercedes understates their performance. And you have a top speed of 196 miles per hour or 315 kilometers per hour, but people again have gone over 200 miles per hour, which again shows Mercedes do understate their performance. And before we move on to the interior, I'll put up a clip of how the SL63 sounds. So guys, that was the exhaust sound of the SL63, and I think it sounds really good. But now let's jump inside, and to get inside, you just need to have your key fob in the pocket and just slide your hand across there, and the door handle pops out, and then we can get inside. I have to be careful. I have a Bentley on this side, which is much more expensive than this thing, so I have to be careful to not hit the door. And here's the interior. So as you can see, we have two-tone leather interior. Everything is Napa leather, feels really nice and soft, by the way. And you can see the ambient lighting has turned on, and it is constantly changing the colors, which is quite nice. Then we have the cream leather on the armrest here, again nice and soft, and we have some piano black trim on the armrest. If you want, you can get carbon fiber, and I highly suggest you do that, because piano black catches a lot of fingerprints and it makes the car look dirty. Then we have the Burmester sound system, and you have your classic Mercedes controls for your door handles, seat controls, your heated seats, ventilated seats, and the air scarf system as well, along with your memory seat controls. Here you have your window switches, side mirror controls, and below that you can see some more ambient lighting and a button to open your boot, along with some small storage in the door pockets. Then on the side you can see we have the illuminated AMG sill plates, and these are how the seats look. This is the place where the air scarf system works from. You have your AMG badge, and the overall seat looks quite good. You have your diamond quilting all the way down below. These are the standard seats that you get with the SL63, but if you want, you can get AMG sports seats as well. They are bucket seats, and they do hug your body quite tight. Then here you can see we have the light controls, electronic parking brake, and you have your aluminum foot pedals down below. So now let's get inside and take a look at the interior. Alright guys, so I'm in the interior of the new SL63 and let's take a look at the dashboard quality first. And as expected from Mercedes, it is quite nice and high quality. Then the first thing I really like about the SL63 interior are these air vents. You can see we have the ambient light integrated into them and they look like the airplane turbines, which I really like. The attention to detail is quite good. Everything that you touch feels high quality, so that is overall really nice. Then let's take a look at the new digital gauge cluster and the center screen as well. So it's basically the new MBUX system, and I have covered it in a lot of my Mercedes videos, and if you want to take a look at that, I'll link them right here and I'll link them in the description as well, all of my Mercedes videos, just so you can take a look at the MBUX system in much more detail. But here I'll just go through them pretty quickly because it's pretty much the same thing. But here let's take a look at the digital reverse display. At the moment I'm in the Super Sport display, which is obviously an AMG specific display, but you do have others as well. So you have the Super Sport, you have the Sport, we have the Classic, Understated. You can show the full map, you can show assistance systems and all that stuff. You can also control the heads up display as well, and you can change that. So I'll just try to show you the heads up display. So as you can see, that's the Super Sport display. Then we have the race display, we have the standard display, a minimal display, so you can go through a lot of that. I think I like the race display a lot better, but we can swipe down and let's keep the main display in Super Sport. You also have a track pace one. In that you can show a lot more of the you can show a lot of the information that you need on the track, like G-force and like the track map as well. So a lot of stuff will show that over there, but I kind of like the Super Sport display and it looks quite good. Then we have the standard AMG steering wheel, so no changes in that. Behind that you have your paddle shifters, which are metal, and behind the paddle shifters you have your indicator controls, wiper controls, and your gear selector as well. On the steering wheel we have your drive modes. We have comfort, sport, sport plus, and race, and you also have individual and a slippery mode as well, but we'll keep it in comfort. Then we have the side menu display as well. I'll just zoom into it a bit. So you have your button to control your pop-up spoiler, you have your AMG dynamics, traction control, exhaust valve, drivetrain, and automatic start stop, and you can also control your suspension settings from here. Then we come to the center display, and the main change that Mercedes have done to it, they have added this button over here, which actually changes the display angle. So you can change the display angle to whatever you want. Especially in this display angle, you have, when you have a lot of for example sunlight coming on top of you, there will not be a lot of glare, which will definitely make it easier for you to see the screen. But when you have the rooftop closed, you can change the display angle here as well. Then you have the AMG button right over here. You press that, you can select the drive mode from here as well and configure it to however you like. Then we have the camera button, which is again a 360-degree camera view. I still like the BMW camera system a bit better than this one. As you can see how zoomed in the surrounding cars look. It does not and the car in the photo looks pretty much like a toy car. Then you have this button right over here, which allows you to change different settings for your heads-up display, tow-away protection, and all that stuff. And you also have your fingerprint sensor. It's basically the same MBUX system, and you can see since it's new year today, it's 1st of January, you have these kind of celebratory stuff on the home screen button. And if I press that, you can see we have some fireworks going on around as well. So there's this nice attention to detail overall. Then the main thing of the SL is this button right over here. It's the convertible soft top. So to control that, you can control it via the key fob, or you can control it via the display over here, and you have to hold it like this. Then the roof opens up, and as you can see, the roof lining inside is really nice and high quality, by the way, and the roof closes in just 15 seconds and opens up in 15 seconds as well. And by the way, you can do that while driving at speeds of 40 miles per hour, but I don't recommend doing that. It might distract you a bit from driving, so it's better to just stand to the side and open the rooftop and then go to your destination. So the rooftop is opened, and that brings limited headroom for a 6'5" guy like me, which is quite good. and these seats, by the way, are quite comfortable for a person like me who has a larger body size. And even with the roof up, I did have a little bit of headroom, but if you're tall, I think by the way, I have the seat set to its lowest driving position as well, and with that I had a little bit of headroom. So if you're taller than 6'5", I'll suggest to not look the way of the AMG SL63, but if you're 6'5" or under, I think you'll be fine in the AMG SL63. And one more suggestion, if you have a larger body size, stick to the standard seats that you get with the SL63. And if you are someone who has a skinny body type, you can go for the AMG sport seats as well, the bucket seats, and you'll be comfortable in those as well. But since they are a bit body hugging, people with larger body sizes will feel a bit constricted in them. Then in the center console, as you can see, this is piano black. You can make it carbon fiber, which I highly suggest you do. Then inside over here you have 2 cup holders, you have a USB-C port, a wireless charger, and you have a place to keep your palm when you are using these displays. Then here you have the armrest, which is nice and wide, which has a decent amount of storage, along with 2 USB-C ports. And here's your glove box. It's a decent amount of space, and it's lined with felt, so whatever you keep inside won't scratch around. Then we have the rear view mirror, along with some buttons over here to turn on your lights, and you have LED lights. And then you have your visors right over here, along with your vanity mirror, but no light in them for some reason. And by the way, the AMG SL63 is a 2+2, so you do have some back seats which are pretty much useless if someone as tall as me is sitting in the front passengers, because nobody in the back seats will be able to sit down, and it's better used as a storage space. But if you're shorter than 6 feet and you have a different driving position, then it might be possible to allow some kids to sit back there. But I highly suggest, if you're tall, don't put anybody back there unless you want to torture them. So I think that's all there is to show in the AMG SL63. So guys, that's all there is to show in the AMG SL63. Sadly, I could not drive it. It is one of my favorite convertibles at the moment, and I really wanted to drive it, but I cannot. It's a showroom car meant to be delivered directly to the customers, and it's not meant for test drives, so obviously we cannot do that. It's very hard to get test drive vehicles here in Saudi Arabia, because most of the cars that come to even the dealerships, like the official dealerships, they are like import vehicles, so they are meant to be directly given to the customers, and it's very rare that you get a test drive vehicle here in Saudi Arabia. So that's a bit of a disadvantage, but hopefully someday I'll get to drive this car. So what do I think about the SL63? I think, to answer the question if whether this is currently the best sports convertible that you can get on the market, yes and no. Obviously with the V8, the all-wheel drive, and the performance this thing has, it is a no-brainer. If you want a lot of performance, and especially that V8 soundtrack, it's a no-brainer. You should just go ahead and buy it. The Lexus LC and the BMW 8 Series convertible do come with V8s, but they don't have the performance that the AMG SL63 has. But other than that, if you consider handling, it is a good handling car, but from what I have read, the Porsche 911 is just that bit better. So I think it's going to be pretty hard to beat that 911. So yeah, if handling is your priority, I think you can take a look at the Porsche 911. But despite that, the SL63 is quite good in terms of handling as well. It can keep up with the 911, but the 911 is just that much bit better. But overall, if I had to say that should you buy the SL63 or not, I will say definitely yes, go ahead and buy it. If you want a lot of performance, then I think the SL63 is perfect. But if you want something that is fast, sporty, and has a good amount of power, then I think you will be fine with the SL55 as well. It has the same V8, but you do have 480 horsepower instead of 585. So if you don't want ballistic performance, then I think the SL55 will be good for you as well. And if you want to buy an SL with the best fuel economy at the moment, then you have the SL43 as well with the 2-liter 4-cylinder, which has like 380 horsepower. So that is also available as an option. But if you want to wait for the plug-in hybrids, those are coming as well. And then you have the top of the line e-performance coming in as well. So if you want to wait for those, you can wait. But at the moment, I think the SL55 and the SL63 are quite good buys. So guys, that's all I had to say. And if you enjoyed the video guys, do leave a like and do subscribe to the channel as well, and do turn on your bell notifications so that you will be the first ones to know when I upload new videos. And thanks for watching guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, and bye bye.